Hello and welcome to this new TouchDesigner tutorial. In this tutorial we are going to see how to use the space around us, our body parts, the Kinect, to send MIDI notes to Ableton Live through the TouchDesigner Ableton package. Here is an example of what are we going to build up. So let's see how I built up this system. First of all, we open a new TouchDesigner project and we delete all the operators that we have on our network. We can also close for the moment the palette, and then we introduce like the Chop Kinect on our screen. At the moment I don't have it like connected, but we're gonna connect it later. So we add a select chop that is gonna grab our right hand, we add a star in order to grab all the three coordinates, so the x, the y, and the z, and then we do a copy paste, and then we just change the right with the left, and we have also the left hand. So here we can write right, and here we can write left, just to name it and keep it clean. And also we can already start to rename the channels, so it's like right hand X, right and Y, and right hand X, and sorry, and similarly we can do the same here with left hand X, left hand Y, and left and Z. Right, so for our work we will need actually the X coordinates, so we're gonna add a select here that grabs just the X, and then we need so we need just the X, and here we need the Y, but we need the Y grabbed for 3 times, so we can actually copy and paste this 3 times. So what we want to do is actually creating a kind of a grid where when our hand is here, then a sound is triggered. When the hand is here, the other sound is triggered, and another sound is triggered when our hand is here. And similarly, when the hand is here, here, and here, sounds are triggered. So to do so, we need like an X, that is this column, and then we need all these rows, and these are gonna be the Y position, because when hands goes up here, so our y-axis changes, but the x is always the same. And so the combination of the position of the x and y, of the combination of the position of our hand in particularly x and y position will then trigger the sound. So for these reasons we add an expression here for the x and expressions here for the y. For the x, it's expression input value smaller than -0.2, and for the expression here we need actually to say into our channel that we want channels per expression 1, but we need like number of expression 3, and we also number of channels. So basically what we are gonna say here is like for the first expression, so down, we need just the me input value smaller than -0.1. We are talking about the y-axis actually. Then we need like a true if me dot input value is bigger than 0.05 and me dot input value smaller than 0.4, else false. Yes, then we can copy this expression and use it for the third one, and then we are gonna just change the value 0.6, sorry, 0.6, 0.85, so bigger than 0.6 and smaller than 0.85. Or also we can put actually a value that is like 1. So basically here we are saying to our Kinect, just trigger me a value, just give me a trigger when my hand is between the value 0.6 and 0.1, and trigger this other channel when my hand is like between 0.05 and 0.4, and trigger this other channel when my hand is under -0.1. Okay, now we want them to say to TouchDesigner to trigger these sounds, like trigger these channels when both expressions, so the X is expressed and also one of the channel is expressed. To do so we need a logic channel. In this logic channel I'm gonna add it here. So we need this plus this, and now we will see it with the Kinect. We'll have like both channels expressed in this logic, and on the other side we want like first null after the Y channels expressed, and then we want to add a constant. And we can name the constant, actually, we can give the same name of the channels coming from the Kinect, so we can name them RHY, and then we can just copy, paste, and then add one, paste, and add two. So, and we can name this constant nodes action, because then we are going to give a value to this channel, to the constant, and the values are 77 in my case, but you can choose whatever values you want, because these are gonna be actually the nodes that we are gonna send to Ableton Live. Okay, all right, and then after this we need a kind of we need to add a mat to bring together these values. So basically, actually what we want to do is like multiply the channels when there is like the expression. So the expression will bring this channel from 0 to 1, and then there will be a multiplication between this channel, for example, that is expressed with this channel. And so when it's 0, of course, we will have 0 as return of this multiplication. But as soon we have an expression, then this value will be multiplied. One of these values will be multiplied with per 1, and so we will have this value expressed in this operator. After that, we can just add to out. So 1 and 2, copy paste. Yes, and then we can basically copy all these operators, paste them, make them closer to the channel left, like to the operator left that we created before, and then we can connect this, and of course we have to change something, especially we have to change like this, left, here all these have to be renamed as left. And of course also in the notes we also have to change the name of the channel. So all right, we can double check if everything is correct. Yes, now I can connect my Kinect and I can double check if everything is right. In particular, I want to check if, for example, these two are working or not. I can add maybe a Kinect that. So when I go on the opposite position, I have the triggers from the Y and the X-axis, and when I go up, and again in the opposite position, I have the other trigger, and then here I have the last trigger X and Y. And these are gonna be used for triggering the nodes. Similarly, I have like the same thing with the left hand. Okay, let's continue there now. So I close my window here. I disconnect my Kinect. Now that we have checked this, we can close our display. We can select all the operators. We click on with the right click on the network, and we select collab selected, and we can name this operator hands setup. We have 4 outputs from this operator, and these are like the first 2 are related to our right hand and the other 2 are related to our left hand. Nice. So we can now click or press Alt L, and while Ableton Live is charging, what we can do, it's also changing the number of the notes that we use for the left hand, because we just copy and paste it. So we have this value, these are the same values of the right hand. So now we want to use actually something different for the left. In my case, of course, you can choose your own, but these were mine in the example. 75, 69, and 76. Can come back to the main screen, check if Ableton is loaded, and now Ableton is loaded. So what we need to do in Ableton, it's very easy. We delete like the audio clip and also the second MIDI clip. We don't need it in this moment for this example. So we just then grab in sounds and in piano keys the electric piano soft. We drag it on the MIDI. We wait until it's charged, and of course you can use whatever instrument you want to use, because you can also use, I don't know, the dynamic bass or the electro piano bright. It's of course up to you, the choice of the instrument. Once we have this, then we can actually press Alt L, grab our TouchDesigner Ableton package. TouchDesigner will ask us to create a song name. We create it and close the palette. Now in the TouchDesigner Ableton package we need like 4 inputs. So we go in chop, input, we copy and paste 4 times the input, and we can now connect the output of our hands setup with our inputs. So let's first of all separate the inputs. So the first 2 inputs are, as we say, related to our right hand, and then the other 2 are related to our left hand. Okay, let's just add a null, another one, and we copy and paste other 2, copy these, and we place them here. So we can now connect the nodes to each single input, and we can start also to rename them. So, and I call them like right, because it's related to the right hand. Here I called it left. Here I called it notes, because these are the notes. And here, of course, I also called it notes. It doesn't matter this name actually. More important is this other one. So we create another null. Oh no, we create a math actually. Sorry. We create a math. We create math. Math. Yes. And this math is gonna give us back like combine channels, add, so it just gives us the channel that is how to say expressed in that moment. Oops. So combine channels, add also for the left hand. Very nice. Now we are almost ready. We can call it like this mat, we can call it right notes, and down we can call it left notes. Very good. So before adding the chop execute that will trigger the notes, we need to grab our Ableton MIDI one. We press P, we select our electric piano soft, and then we have no TouchDesigner MIDI device because we need to pulse. And now a TouchDesigner MIDI connection is created. Very good. Now we need just the chop execute. We'll create two in that. We go in that. We create two chop executes, one for the left and one for the right hand. All right. So regarding the right hand, we can already drag it here. Oh, sorry. It's not right. Yes. So we need this, that operator selected. We drag it to the right hand, and now we can go inside and add it. Sublime will be open for editing. In my case, but probably you can also go just inside here and edit. I prefer to use Sublime. So, and actually what I need is just the on value change, so I can delete all these. I can keep the previous one or also not. I prefer not to keep it. Actually, I want to be as short as possible with all the things that I write inside. So now I can type in num of channels equals integer operator right dot num of channels, and this means that this expression here will give me back a number of channels that are related to the number of channels of the right operator. So in this case 4, right? So after I can go in the between like the definition define on value change and return, and I can type in I can press tab and I can type in for n range for n in range 1 to number of channels, and this because the 0 is like x and I don't want to use that that expression, so I just want this from 1 to, in this case from 1 to 3 values. So if the if operator right zero equals 1 and operator right equals 1, then operator Ableton MIDI 1, and MIDI notes int operator right notes comma 100. So all right, let's check it out. So first of all, int operator so let's double check. Okay, so and basically this expression says for n, for a certain value that is between like the number 1 and the 3, in this case the number of channels in the right operator. So if the operator right 0, so the channels, this channel, the x coordinate is 1, and the operator 1 is 1, then play a note that is the note shown in this operator R notes. So play this note, because this note will be also related to the position on the y-axis. So this is basically what I asked to TouchDesigner to do, to trigger in Ableton. So now we want to have this expression also for the other channels. So the expression right hand y1 and right hand y2. So, and it's just a matter of changing a few values. So first of all, we need like an elif. So we press tab elif, and then we copy this expression, and this has to be 2 basically, because it's referred to this other channel. And then again we can type elif, and then we paste, we write T, and then here we can press tab, and also here I think we can press tab to not have mistakes. We can control save, and we can double check if now we have errors in our chop execute. We can go back, and here in Land Setup we can choose to view also our Kinect. So let's see what happens. No, we have some mistakes. So I got some mistakes from the code I wrote, and first mistake is like the absence of a bracket here. And second of all, we also need a else statement that says that when basically we finish to send note to Ableton through TouchDesigner, we need then to shut off this note, otherwise will be played continuously by Ableton. So we need to say to Ableton to bring the velocity of the notes to 0. So we can copy and paste this integer because it's actually the note taken from the operator write notes, and then tell to Ableton to bring the velocity of this note to 0 when no trigger is sent to Ableton. Right, we can save it. So our chop executed has been like updated, and now we can connect our Kinect. So we can make it a little bit bigger. We can put it here on the side, and then we can play around with our hands. So right hand. Okay, so right hand. Nice. So it's working. Now what we need to do is also using our left hand to trigger sounds. So I'm gonna copy. So first of all, I can delete actually this one and just copy and paste this chop execute. And now all that I have to do is, instead of using the right operator, I'm gonna use the left, and then I go inside edit, and I can transform all the right operator in left, 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 and also the right notes will become the left notes. I'm gonna save this, and let's see what happens now. So I'm gonna get again my Kinect. I'm gonna go to the right position, so go to the right position, get a lot of triggers already. So it's the left hand. So okay, right position, and let's see what happens. Okay, so I'm having a trigger actually in this position because I did a mistake. So we can go and go inside here and actually I didn't change the value, so let's put 0.2 and bigger than 0.2, and let's see what happens now on the x-axis. So it should be that when I go here I have a trigger. I don't have it. Perfect. So left hand. And right hand. All right. So that's all for this tutorial. In the next tutorial, we are gonna see how to record these notes and send them in a loop with Ableton and TouchDesigner. Thanks for watching. If you like this tutorial, you can subscribe, and in the future I'm gonna realize other tutorials on how to use Ableton and TouchDesigner to create audiovisual effects and also other kind of effects that you can create using just TouchDesigner. And see you to the next tutorial.